The courtroom froze. A young woman in a designer coat, diamond earrings glinting under the fluorescent lights, leaned forward toward the bench. Her voice sliced through the room like a blade. "Judge, I don't think you understand who you're talking to." She pointed at herself with a smirk. "My father owns half of this city." Judge Caprio stared back, eyebrows slightly raised but expression calm. The woman shrugged arrogantly. "And honestly?" She scoffed. "I kind of own you too." Gasps erupted. A mother in the back covered her child's ears. A veteran lowered his head in disbelief. Even the court officers froze mid-step. And for the first time in years, Judge Frank Caprio looked truly stunned. The story rewinds. Morning sunlight poured through the tall courtroom windows, streaking gold light across the polished wooden benches. The air felt unusually heavy, as if the walls themselves sensed a storm coming. Camera pans to the entrance. The door opened with a soft creak, and in stepped a girl no older than 23. She walked with the confidence of someone who never heard the word "no" in her life. Louboutin heels clicked sharply on the tile floor. A silk coat draped over her shoulders like a cape. She didn't spare a glance at anyone. The courtroom murmurs rose instantly. "That's the Kingston girl. The billionaire's daughter. The one who crashed the sports car." She flicked her hair aside and strutted to the defendant's podium like it was her personal runway. Judge Caprio entered moments later. The room rose. Even the air seemed to straighten itself in respect. He gave a warm, fatherly smile to the courtroom, until his eyes landed on her. She didn't stand. She didn't even look up. The judge's smile faded. And the quiet tension began to spread like smoke. "Miss Kingston," Caprio said gently, "you're charged with reckless driving, damaging city property, and endangering 2 pedestrians. How do you plead?" She sighed dramatically. "Judge, let's not play games. You know exactly who I am." Caprio blinked. "I know you are the defendant in this case." She laughed loudly, an echoing, disrespectful laugh. "No. I'm the daughter of Richard Kingston. Maybe you've heard of him. Billionaire. Real estate empire. Donates to half the political campaigns in this state." Caprio nodded slowly. "That may be true. But in here." She interrupted him with a raised palm. "In here, out there, anywhere, people listen when my family speaks." The courtroom gasped again. She leaned closer. "Let's speed this up. You dismiss my charges, I'll make sure the mayor remembers your name during budget allocations." Caprio stared at her, stunned by the bluntness. She rolled her eyes. "And if that's not enough," a sly smirk curved her lips, "I could make one call and have someone replace you on that bench tomorrow. My father practically owns the city. And honestly." She shrugged. "I own you too." A cold silence ripped through the room. Even her own lawyer looked like he wanted to disappear. Before the judge could speak, a shuffling sound came from the back of the courtroom. An elderly man, wearing an old army jacket and limping slightly, raised his hand nervously. "Your Honor," he whispered. Caprio recognized him instantly, Mr. Walter Harris, a Vietnam veteran who never asked the world for anything. "Mr. Harris," Caprio said softly, "you're here today." The old man swallowed hard, his voice trembling. "Yes, Judge. I was one of the pedestrians she nearly hit." The courtroom turned. Mr. Harris continued, "I was crossing the street with groceries. That car, it came so fast. If I didn't jump back," he paused, chest shaking. His daughter placed a hand on his back. She whispered, "Dad, you don't have to tell it." But Mr. Harris insisted, voice cracking, "My grandkids were waiting for me at home. I just kept thinking, they might never see me again." The billionaire's daughter scoffed loudly. "Oh, please. You're fine. I didn't even get close." His daughter snapped, "You almost killed him." But Mr. Harris lifted a trembling hand, shushing her gently. He looked at Judge Caprio with sorrowful eyes. "I'm not asking for revenge," he said. "I just want her to understand life isn't about money or power. Some of us, we fight for every breath." The entire courtroom fell into respectful silence. Except for her. She rolled her eyes again. Judge Caprio leaned back, fingers interlocked, eyes deep and disappointed. "Miss Kingston," he said quietly, "I've spent decades in this courtroom. I've met people struggling to feed their children, veterans who sacrificed everything, mothers working 2 jobs, but you." He paused. The silence felt like a heavy stone. "You walk in here with more arrogance than I've seen in years." She shrugged. He continued, voice low but powerful. "You think money gives you authority. You think influence buys freedom. You think privilege is a shield from consequences." His voice darkened. "But in this courtroom, the law is the only authority." He leaned forward. "And it does not bow to wealth." The girl smirked. "You done lecturing?" Caprio's expression hardened. "I'm just getting started." The bailiff stepped forward. "Your Honor, the city submitted new evidence this morning." Caprio nodded. "Let's see it." A large screen flickered to life. Dashcam footage. The billionaire's daughter looked annoyed, but still smug. "That's nothing," she muttered. The video began. Her red sports car speeding around a corner, swerving wildly. Then the twist hit the room like a lightning strike. A small child, no more than 7, ran into the frame chasing a ball. Gasps exploded. Mr. Harris could be seen in the background, holding groceries. Her car missed the child by inches. The courtroom erupted into shouts. But it wasn't over. The footage zoomed in. Inside the car, clearly visible. She was laughing. Not scared. Not shocked. Laughing. Her face turned pale. Caprio stared at the screen in disbelief. Then another twist. A door opened quietly at the back of the courtroom. A tall, stern man walked in. Everyone recognized him instantly. Richard Kingston. The billionaire himself. Her father. He walked to the front, face tense, jaw clenched. The girl whispered, panicked, "Dad? Why are you here?" He didn't look at her. Instead, he faced the judge. "Your Honor. I need to say something." Her father shook his head slowly, disappointment heavy in his voice. "My daughter, she wasn't raised like this." He turned to her, eyes filled with hurt. "When did you become someone who thinks human lives are beneath you?" She stiffened, lip trembling. "Dad, stop. Not here." But Richard continued, voice breaking. "I watched that video this morning. I've never been more ashamed." Her arrogance shattered. Tears sprang to her eyes. "Dad. I thought you'd protect me." He closed his eyes painfully. "I can't protect you from yourself." Her voice cracked into full panic. "Please, Dad, don't let them do this to me. I'm your daughter." Richard looked at Judge Caprio. For once, let her face real consequences. She collapsed into tears, gripping the podium, chest heaving, makeup streaking down her face. I didn't know. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." Judge Caprio watched her unravel. Her ego dissolved. Her voice trembled like a child lost in a storm. For the first time, she looked human. Judge Caprio stood. "Miss Kingston," he said slowly, "your actions were reckless, cruel, and dangerously entitled. But today, you are going to learn something money cannot buy." He raised his gavel, but not to slam it. He pointed it at her gently, like a teacher correcting a student. "This is your sentence." You will pay full restitution for the damages caused. You will also lose your driving privileges for 1 year. And you will attend mandatory traffic safety courses. She nodded tearfully. You will visit the Harris family once a week, not to apologize, but to help Mr. Harris with errands, groceries, and transportation. The old veteran looked stunned. Caprio continued. You nearly took his life. Now you will spend time learning the value of a human life. She sobbed harder, nodding. For 6 months, you will work 200 hours of community service, not behind a desk, not in a donation office, but on the streets you endangered. Her breathing hitched. City cleanup, charity kitchens, shelters. You will look into the eyes of the people who don't have your privilege. And maybe then, humility will grow. The courtroom whispered in awe. Caprio lifted his gavel. Sentence delivered. 6 months later. A montage plays. The once arrogant billionaire's daughter now walked the streets in a neon vest, picking up trash with a soft, humbled smile. She pushed Mr. Harris's wheelchair to his doctor appointments. She carried his groceries. She fixed the door to his porch. She even joined him for dinner with his grandchildren. And something changed in her. One day, she sat beside him on a park bench, watching kids play under the sun. I used to think the world was mine, she said quietly. But now, I feel like I finally belong to it. Mr. Harris smiled. Life teaches the ones willing to learn. Her father visited one afternoon. She hugged him, something she hadn't done since childhood. Thank you, she whispered, for not protecting me. He held her tightly. I just wanted you to discover who you were meant to be. The city noticed the change. People greeted her. Some forgave. Some embraced. It was redemption, slow, painful, beautiful. And one bright morning, 6 months later, she requested a hearing with Judge Caprio. She stood before him with steady eyes. Your Honor, thank you for not giving up on me. Caprio smiled, eyes warm. You grew, Miss Kingston. That's the greatest victory any courtroom can see. She bowed her head respectfully. For the first time ever. The narrator speaks as the camera closes on Judge Caprio's bench. Money can open doors. Power can bend rules. Influence can push people aside. But none of it matters the moment a life is at stake. Respect cannot be bought. Humility cannot be forced. Compassion cannot be faked. In the end, the strongest people are the ones who learn, apologize, grow, and rise again. And that is justice.